The goal, make your opponents crack. But if you laugh, smile, or smirk,
Does it?
It was me.
you're eliminated.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by I'm Gus.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Barbara.
I didn't know who was going to go next.
All right, we're off to a great start. I have a question for everyone, and I don't know if there's a right answer for this. When I was doing the podcast, the last time I was on the podcast, whenever it was on the close-up of me, I kept looking into lens, and like I was addressing the audience, and I think I was the only person who was doing that. Great. What is that? And I think I was the only person who was looking straight in the lens when I was addressing people. And I think some people in the comments said that it was creepy and that I was making them uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're a fucking psychopath, Gus. Who the hell does this when they're talking to each other on a computer?
Well, it's like I'm talking to the audience. So I guess that's the question is, when we're talking, am I talking to the audience or am I talking to you guys?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at the people I'm talking to as if, like, if I'm talking to Barbara, I'm looking at Barbara's mug right now.
Well, when it's a single of you, are you looking at yourself talking?
Yeah.
Here,
what you should do is when you're talking to you guys, and I see you guys on the screen, we could do this. But if I'm listening, I should be looking into the camera because you're talking to me. So I should be looking you right in the eye.
But then that's hard because then you're not actually looking at them.
I know. That's why I just look at the computer. I don't look at the webcam because I don't know, I can't focus on what I'm saying if I'm not looking at the people I'm talking to. It's weird.
I guess I was trying to do the right thing, and I guess people didn't like it, and people don't like me making eye contact with them, so I apologize. I'll never look you in the eyes ever again.
you don't do that on the normal podcast.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're in front of me in the normal podcast.
I'm in front of you right now.
Yeah, but you're down there. Like, I feel like it's weird. Like, I'm looking down, and I feel like it looks like, because my eyebrows are so big, like it's like obstructing your ability to see my eyes.
Your webcam is also, I think, higher than most of us. Like, mine is like, I barely have to move my eyes to change. But Gus, it looks like you're looking down like this at us.
Here, I can resize my window. We'll figure this out eventually. We have a few more weeks, right?
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
All right.
Gus, we missed you last week.
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't make it. I don't know. Wasn't feeling up to it.
We can do that
week.
if we don't feel up to it. We can just not go.
Yeah. Just like how you don't ever feel like responding to my calendar invites and then gaslighting me like you did. So I texted Gavin yesterday. I was like, hey, are you available for the podcast? And he's like, yeah, I responded to the calendar invite. I said, that's weird. It didn't update for me. And I went and I looked. And he's like, oh, wait, no, I lied. I never did.
Well, here's the thing. I was going through because Fiona threw a bunch of streaming stuff in the calendar. So I was just going through accepting it. And then I saw the Rooster Teeth podcast one. I was like, oh, I should accept that. Pressed accept. And then when I went to check again, I hadn't done it.
Yeah, I was getting ready to send you a screenshot. I had screenshotted the whole thing to send it to you. Like, oh, weird. On my side, it doesn't show for some reason.
He's like, why don't you check again?
And then you said you felt like an asshole, and then you didn't, and then I said I did, so it was fine.
Yeah, the person who's an asshole totally did a 180 there.
Yeah, I was gonna come at you. I was gonna be like, look, the one time I accept the calendar invite, you don't even check it. Oh, I know I didn't. Nope.
Chris, what are you drinking?
Beer.
No, what's the other thing you just drank? Don't think I missed that.
Water.
No, Chris, there's something else.
Soup.
You're drinking.
What the?
You're just drinking soup out of a cardboard container?
Is that cold?
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold soup.
Don't drink. Is it meant to be cold? Is it gazpacho?
Well, like, is it cold like it was in your fridge, or is it room temperature
was in my
like it was in your
fridge.
cupboard?
It's
Chris,
So it's really
warm
cold.
it up, man. Warm it up.
But then I didn't have time.
Don't have the
I like
soup
how
then.
Chris tried to drink his soup while he wasn't on camera, but it cut back to everybody while he was finishing.
So Chris is drinking like a tomato soup, like one of those that you buy in the grocery store that comes like in a cardboard container, but it's
Yeah,
been
like
different.
the chicken stock type thing.
The big
But
ones.
usually, if you don't have time to cook something, you don't eat it.
Well, I know.
Like
but
I didn't
what
eat
do you-
I don't eat a raw steak because I didn't have time to cook it. No, I mean I know you can eat soup cold, but weird,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like cold pizza. You know, it's not meant to be that way, but you can do it. Also, the
No, it's not like
The
cold
soup
pizza.
is the same.
Cold pizza is pizza that was once warm that went cold. That soup was never warm. It was just you don't take a pizza out of the freezer and then eat it.
yeah, but when your steak comparison is wrong.
It
Because-
is wrong. It's a bad example, but that not having time isn't a reason to eat something.
I was hungry. I didn't. I needed something in my stomach. You know, like I needed that. You know, you get that kind of jittery feeling when you've had too much coffee and you need food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something that a pint
Yeah.
of cold soup will fix.
Well, I didn't want to eat on the podcast.
So you're just,
So-
oh yeah, because it's a drink.
Yeah, it's quite. I'm not
So-
like chewing into the mic.
So you have a pretty impressive spread in front of you then. You have soup, water, and beer all easily accessible to you right there.
Oh, I got a little cooler.
Oh my god.
You-
To make
that
sure
where
you
the
keep your
soup
soup
was?
cold.
What's in the cooler? What's in the cooler?
It's just beer. It's just beer. There's no like other soups. We got some chicken noodle. We got.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How many soups would that be?
Ooh. This is, I think, 2.
2 soups?
2 soups.
This is two sittings of soup. I think this is like two about. Well, this is 4 servings. I think it's more like 2 because I only had one other serving of this, and it's like half full.
Because you had you had
that
3
happy to
soups
me.
that one time you got sick, right? Was it 3 or 4 soups? 3 soups?
Yeah. Well, those were in bowls. It's easier to measure.
Okay, so maybe it's 4 cups or 2
Well,
bowls.
I'm just trying to determine if you're gonna make yourself sick or not, basically, based
So
on the
what
amount of soups you're
soups-
having.
What soups are off limits for cold, do you think? Would you drink any soup cold?
No, nothing. I think it's. I don't know about chicken noodle. I think the noodles would be cold and weird. I think that's a weird one.
I mean, it's all pre-cooked, so you're good.
yeah,
right? There's no
but,
raw soup.
but cold noodles.
buy.
Anything with grease, I think, because grease kind of congeals when it's cold.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I think no meat is way better cold.
Yeah,
Right?
I would agree.
Meat is way better cold.
So like a vegetable soup or something with like just noodles, but not necessarily meat. Because cold
Yeah.
chicken would be probably
What a-
weird.
What about cold
Cold chicken's
sushi?
great.
Cold chicken
I've
is
done
great.
that.
What am I talking about?
I've had cold sushi.
You've had cold sushi before?
Yeah,
I mean,
just
As
do you
opposed
love hot
to-
sushi?
Oh, I guess there's not a lot of hot sushi. There is hot sushi. There's some hot sushi that I think they like
So,
they fry
yeah,
it
that's like-
outside.
No, I'm just saying, like
stuff.
that's a cold meat that's better than a hot meat.
Okay, yeah. I'm just thinking soup wise. I don't know. My
Have you-
my kitchen's a mess right now because
Have you
my
guys had any sushi, by the way, since this whole thing started? That's the
feel
one
like
food I
it's
haven't
weird
had
to-
any of.
Eat sushi because it has to be handled so much, and it doesn't get
Yeah.
cooked typically.
Yeah,
Uh,
sorry
yeah.
to interrupt, but I was just
Oh.
curious.
well, I was just gonna say like I can't. My kitchen smells like rotten vegetables, so I can't go in it.
Why?
Why?
Is that because there's vegetables rotting there?
Not yes. Like so, my garbage disposal or sink or something is backed up, so I've just got like food and water sitting in my sink that's been sitting there all weekend.
Oh,
Why don't you
God,
fix it?
Chris.
I tried, but I've got
does
a
your
disposal.
disposal not turn on?
It does. It turns it on and it stirs it up and it sinks back down and then when I turn it back up, it bubbles back up. And so I covered it with a big bag to try and like keep it out of the way, or at least contained. Also to keep me from forgetting and turning on the sink.
Like that scene in Big Daddy where he's just putting newspaper over it.
Yeah. but like the earliest the guy could come look at it is like tomorrow morning. So, and
Do you think it's like clogged up? What caused this? Did you do something to make this?
I guess it clogged up or something.
Yeah.
Do you have your water running at the same time as using the disposal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you tried? This is gonna sound weird. Have you
Uh-huh.
tried using a plunger on it?
No.
You should try that.
You should try it. It might be stopped up, and you might be able to unstop it if you plunge it a bit.
What about some Mr. Muscle?
What's
Mr.
that?
Muscle?
It's like
What's a
the
Mr.
drain
Muscle?
cleaner. You pour it down the plug hole and it dissolves.
Oh,
all
like
the gum.
Drano?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Mr.
Yeah,
Muscle. I was like, Mr. Clean? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I
Looking
had
up
Mr.
Mr. Muscle.
Muscle growing up.
Oh, he looks
Never heard of that
dapper.
before.
Yeah, Mr. Muscle. He gets down there. He
Can
like
you-
punches all the guzz.
Can you see how much muscle
the
he
what?
has? All the guzz.
I don't like Mr. Muscle anymore.
What is
He
it?
looks like
Guzz?
Like gauze.
Oh,
he looks like he's running. He looks like he's ready for action.
whoa.
He's always ready for action. I've
Who
actually
looks
never
more-
used a plunger.
What?
You've never stopped up a toilet?
Like I don't have I think maybe I've used one in a building that I was in, like on a set or something. Because it was
But never in your own
the
home?
toilet wasn't working. But no, I've never had like a plunger that's next to my toilet. Like, how often do
then what
people use plungers?
I regularly. I don't know.
I
Well,
think
kinda
it depends
depends,
on your system. Like back home in Canada, we had like a weaker system, so I would have to use the plunger more often. And here, I've
Yeah.
never had to. In Austin, I've never had to.
Yeah, I think
So
it's good to have just in case you need it, because when you need it,
Yes.
you really need to have it. One time I was out. We were doing work at an ad agency years ago in the early days of Rooster Teeth, and I was at this ad agency in San Francisco, and there was like a big room where everyone was working, and then like right off to the side was the bathroom. There was like no hallway or anything. It was like just another attached room to this big room. And I went in there to use the bathroom, and when I flushed it, it wouldn't flush, and there was no plunger in the bathroom. So I had to come out into this like super crowded room filled with people and be like, "Hey, does anyone have a plunger?" Because I backed up the toilet, and it was like super embarrassing. It was like the first day we were there working, and the receptionist had to go get me a plunger and bring it, and then like when I was done, I was like, "What do I do with it? Do I leave it in here? Like it wasn't in here. Do I have to take it back out?" It's like I was just mortified the whole rest of the time we were there working.
I had a situation kind of like that. This was a long time ago, like in college. I was dating a girl who didn't live in Austin, and I was visiting, and I stopped up there. They had like two toilets. I stopped up one of the toilets, and then I was like trying to be subtle and like, "Hey, do you guys seem to have a toilet?" They didn't have a plunger at all. Like they didn't have one in the house. So then, and it was also like in the winter, and it was like snowy and stuff. So like, it wasn't like we just just run out and get one, because it's like a whole trek. You have to like button up, and I didn't have a car, so I had to wait for someone to like, "Hey, like we need a plunger." So the toilet was just stopped up for like a couple days, and then it was like one of those things where I was like, "Well, do I have to buy the plunger?" Because it's something
they didn't need it until now because of
Yeah,
you.
I know.
I
I mean,
maybe.
I ended up buying it, but it did feel like one of those things like, well, there, it's not, it seems like it's like something that everyone should have, right? It's like buying, I don't know, like an air conditioner for someone's house.
An
Well,
air
man,
conditioner is.
I
Well, it's like
vomited
something
all
that-
over your counter. Do I have to buy the paper towels? Like,
but-
my God.
Well, they should have paper towels. They should have something to clean
Well,
up
they should.
their house.
But you
I don't
still
know. I
caused
did
the
it.
problem. You shouldn't feel
Sure.
you shouldn't feel put out by having to pay a couple bucks.
I
To
know,
fix
I
that
did.
problem.
I did. I mean, I got it. It was just one of those things that crossed through my mind. I was like, well, I guess I should buy it, but man, I'm only going to use it once.
And they might never use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once had to.
What if I took it back with me?
Like it was your plunger.
Well, I bought it.
Just shoved the end in a bag. I had to clean James Buckley's poo out of my toilet, but it was actually all soft enough to just go down with multiple flushes, and then I just cleaned.
Was
But
it
it wasn't
in
like-
place?
Yeah. There was a story on off topic that he told where he ruined my toilet. He ruined it. He wrecked it.
You could have sold that for some good money.
I think he should have bought me a new toilet. That's what I think.
Do you think there are people in the world who would pay money to have James Buckley destroy their toilet?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It could be like a new next level version of Cameo. You go over to, so you pay for a celebrity to come to your house and destroy your toilet.
Oh man, there's a pun in
only
here
poop.
somewhere. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. I forgot to tell everyone who's watching the live stream right now. If you want, you can make an account right now on the Rooster Teeth website at roosterteeth.com, and you can join us in chat. I've got chat open right here in another window, and I'm keeping an eye on what everyone's saying. And someone actually in chat who is at INPH is asking, are American toilets different? I never needed a plunger before. I wonder if our toilets are just weaker here. Did your house in the UK have a plunger, Gavin?
No. I didn't really have. I love the toilets I grew up in. I didn't grow up in a toilet. A lot of the bathrooms in the houses I grew up in, they had like carpet in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So you didn't really have a ton of like toilety utensils because it would.
I've seen houses that do that with the carpet in the bathroom, and it is so strange to me. Like I feel like that's got to be the dirtiest carpet in the world, right? Just because of everything flying out of places and whatnot.
Yeah, it was gross. And we had a bog brush, and it had like one of the little brush cups, but the residue at the bottom just rank.
Gavin, I'm sorry. I think you cut out there. Could you keep explaining what it was like?
Disgusted.
That's why you asked me in that first episode of Chump. In that first episode of Chump, I tried to tell you that thing was for cleaning those brushes, and that's why you asked immediately what goes into the bottom. Like, what happened? How do you clean it out?
Oh, gross.
It's
Is
not.
that if you got $1 million, would you drink that?
No. Well, yeah. I mean, you'd have to, right? But I don't think I can get it down.
How much of it though? Like an ounce, a cup? What are we talking?
Like the actual cup was like it was like a mug's worth. I couldn't get it down. I'd have to hold my nose.
You can't even think about it.
Disgusting. I would try for $1 million, but I would not. I would get it.
Maybe you
It'd
get
be
a
great
bit
to see
for
you throw
trying.
It'd be good to see you throw up all over your own house.
Gavin, you talking through gagging is probably one of the funniest sounds in the world.
Well, remember how much I struggled to drink the fake bog water in that Fallout video?
Oh yeah,
And that
It
was
was
just
like-
from. Yeah, it was
Oh,
like what was in it? Like
I think
oatmeal
it
or
was
something.
like no, it wasn't even that. I think it was like water and cinnamon. Like it was just
Ah.
essentially colored to look kind of brownish.
It was a bit bitty though, a bit nutty.
You
Poor
did
word.
say that.
Nutmeg.
Oh,
So I was driving. You were talking about sushi earlier. I was driving down the street yesterday. And I was driving down Lamar, and first of all, it was really weird because I went through like this long section of Lamar where there were no cars in front of me, and Lamar's normally super packed, so it was strange to be driving and to really be the only car on the road. But I drove by Uchiko, and it looked like they had takeout sushi available there. Like they had like people out there, and there were cars pulling up, and it seemed like they were bringing packages out. I didn't, stop or go into the parking lot, but as I was driving by, I could see there was something going on. So if
that
you
must be
want
the
your
most
your
expensive
sushi,
takeout sushi.
Yeah.
it's probably a pretty expensive meal. But yesterday, the reason I was driving was yesterday. I think for the first time since this all started, I got takeout food. I've been making
you've
food
been
here at home
hoarding
this whole time. Yeah, what's that?
I didn't know you were avoiding it until now.
Yeah. I hadn't been doing that, and so yesterday, for the first time, got some takeout food. What you got?
Nice.
What you got there?
Is that claw?
Cheeky claw.
Hell
number
yeah.
number 3 of 24.
Ain't no laws, baby, when you're drinking claws. We got some takeout the other night. We ordered from an Italian place here in Austin called Taverna. I don't know if you guys have been there before.
I'm familiar.
It's on like 2nd Street, it's downtown. But we ordered from Uber Eats, and they had this option. They're like, would you like to donate a $5 fee to the restaurant? It'll go to the restaurant, and Uber Eats, I think, matches those donations. So it was like, fuck yeah, like if I could support this restaurant while it's going through this, it's like I think it's a local small business. And we got like this nice message on our box when the stuff came that was just like, thank you for your donation. We really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. But I thought that was really cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, it's a neat option to be able to do that. But the restaurant I went to pick up the takeout, they had the front door locked. So it's like you have to place the order online, then you pull up into the parking lot, and then you have to call them to let them know you're there. And then when it's ready, they'll come out and bring it out to your car. That way you don't
It's like a drug
get
deal.
near anybody. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like you unlock the door, and like they just put it in the back seat, and they just nod at you.
Well, I might have told you all this story, but I got a foster doggy, and whenever I picked him up, it was like a drug deal. It was like I got an email saying, "Hey, come to the pet place between 3 and 6, and then text this number saying you're here with a description of your car." And then I did, and they're like, "Okay, cool. We're gonna drop the package off, like drive up to the left and then just wait." And then I'm like, "Okay, all right, we're gonna open the gate. The dog, he's in a leash, and the leash is tied to the fence. It's got all his paperwork up there. Just grab it." And then I do it. Like I hadn't even seen I knew nothing about the dog beforehand. It was just like, meet us at this place and we'll give you the dog. And then I was like, there was a woman there. I mean, they were doing it. This wasn't like shady. They were doing the responsible way of.
It sounds
dog.
shady.
Chris, did you steal someone's dog?
No. Because a woman was there, and she was like, we talked, but it was from afar. We were like yelling at each other. So, but then there was paperwork that had all the instructions.
Was she yelling, "Give me my dog back"?
I like the idea of the first test you have with this dog is they stand over there with the dog, you stand over there, and then if the dog comes to you, then you keep it.
Well, I was just like, I hope I get a good one. I don't know. I didn't know.
He walked in behind you, by the way. He's in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Booger.
Yeah. He's eating on his bone.
Cute.
How much longer does he have to wear the cone for?
Well, he's done with his little eye medicine stuff, but he's still like scratching at his face a lot. So might be a vet I was emailing with said it might be allergies. So he's got some whatchamacallit. What do you give for allergies?
Benadryl?
Allergy medication?
Benadryl.
Is he allergic to dogs?
I don't know. It might be a food thing. So I was gonna try some like dog allergy food. I don't know.
Do you think any dog is allergic to being a dog?
Or are there any dogs that are allergic to humans?
Do humans produce enough like dander and stuff for a dog to get choked up?
But a dog's nose is so sensitive, you think a little bit would go a long way.
There are some things that humans are allergic to, which makes me feel like humans are allergic to humans. Things like there's some people who are allergic to water, sunlight.
No, that can't. Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
But what about human?
It's like when it touches their skin, there's like a reaction. I don't know if like it's the same thing.
But what about like human like oil or skin? That's like, oh, I guess like they can't touch other humans or even. I guess they could touch themselves.
Would you drink a mug of human oil?
A mug?
Yeah.
Is it where does the oil come from? Like skin
could
or
be
hair
like,
or
yeah, just all that. If you have enough of it on your finger to like get oil from your hair or something, you just over time, over 10 years, just like wring it into a mug.
Right.
So some of it's like super old too.
Ugh.
Well, it
Is
takes a long time to oil a human.
Is this one person's oil, or is this like, mixed human oil?
Oof. I don't know. I wonder if it'd be flammable.
Oh, probably.
Probably. I don't know, man. I'm a pretty oily person.
People petroleum.
Especially my T-zone right here.
But is that sweat or oil?
Oil. And sweat sometimes. It's probably both. But no,
what
like
is the difference between human oil and sweat, though? Does oil come out of not a sweat gland?
I think the oil comes from a sebaceous gland. If I'm remembering my biology correctly.
I've only heard of sebaceous cysts, but not glands.
I've only heard of sebaceous babes, baby.
The sebaceous gland is a small gland in the skin which secretes a lubricating oily matter into the hair follicles to lubricate the skin and hair.
Yeah, like check out, like look at this fucking oily ass face I got here. Oily as fuck.
Oh, it looks nice.
Thanks, Kevin. That's only because you haven't seen people's faces for a while.
Do you think you could use do you think you could use human oil for like lube?
Well, why doesn't your own penis make its own
well, that's
oil
what
on the
pre-cum.
outside?
It's pre-cum.
Well, that's from the inside, though. That comes from
like, why doesn't it just go like
why doesn't it just secrete from the head?
And then you could be like, oh, my dick is so wet.
I'll tell you why.
I don't like this conversation. I don't like this at all.
It's probably to avoid a certain type of sexual assault, because if the woman's wet, I mean, she's aroused too. So you kind of need both people to be in their proper sexual engage mode. Because if a guy got wet, then he could just slip right into whatever.
Well, I feel like, anyone who... This is a terrible conversation.
Yes, let's talk about something else. I saw a guy.
Why?
I had to go to the store earlier this morning, and I saw a guy being such an asshole. It was really strange to see that, because I feel like everyone's been so accommodating, like everyone understands it, like what everyone's going through, and being nice to each other. But it was weird to see a guy, like probably the first time I've seen it, like in a month, to see like a customer at a store just being an all out like raging asshole to a store employee.
What are they doing?
Like, wow. I was waiting to check out, and I was the next person in line, and he was, so I'm having to stand back a bit, and I could see him up at the register, and he was asking the cashier for cigarettes, and behind the cashier was like the signs that said like, the cigarette brand, and it had like a sign that said $5.26. And so the cashier asks, well, which cigarettes do you want? And he points at the sign and goes, I want the ones that are $5.26. And she looks at the sign and then like starts looking at all the cigarettes. She goes, okay, but what cigarettes? And he's like, I want whatever is $5.26. And then she's looking at the sign and she's like, well, I guess it's whatever, I don't remember, Marlboro Special Blend or something. And she sees that, and then she looks for the cigarette, and then she says, well, on the shelf, the cigarette's labeled as being $5.95. And he goes, but the sign over there says $5.26. And so I want the cigarettes that are $5.26. And she's like, well, which cigarettes do you want? And he goes, I want the ones that are $5.26. And she's like looking at all of them. She's like, I have no idea what it is. So then he's like, well, I want you to get a manager here because you're advertising cigarettes for $5.26, and I want the cigarettes that are $5.26. And
I have a suggestion for this dude. Why don't you stop smoking during a time when there's a upper respiratory disease going on?
So then the manager comes out, right? And the manager's like, what's going on? And the cashier says, so there's more to the story that I hadn't heard at first. The cashier says, this man's here. He wants to return this item, but he doesn't have a receipt. And he wants to buy cigarettes for $5.26.
Oh,
and the manager looks at the manager looks at the guy and goes, well, what cigarettes do you want? The guy goes, I want the ones that are $5.26. It's not that hard. So the manager's like, I'll see what I can do. And then he starts like trying to help him. And then like another cashier calls me, says, I can help you. I can check you out over here. So I go to the other
Oh, if I were
line.
you, I would have been like, no, I'm good. I'm going to hang over here for a second. I got to see the results of this.
So I'm checking out with the other cashier, and I'm like, man, that guy's being a real dick, right? And the cashier goes, yeah. If it was me, I just would have kicked him out and told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
I was like,
Hell
wow,
yeah.
that sucks that you're having to put up with that.
Isn't that quite cheap for how many cigarettes? Like 20?
I don't know. No idea.
12? Is it like a 12 pack?
Can you get 12 cigarettes? And sell them by the dozen?
I have no idea.
I've never bought cigarettes.
Me neither.
No, me neither. I sold them.
I've never smoked a cigarette.
They were more expensive than $5 though when I was selling them.
I'm sure it costs more in the UK than it does here.
Have you
They're
guys
very
smoked
heavily
cigarettes?
taxed.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
What was that, Barbara?
Have you smoked a cigarette?
I did. I smoked half of a cigarette once. When I first moved to Austin, I felt like everyone was smoking, and with the place I worked at the time, you could get like smoke breaks and go outside. I was like, oh, I could get extra breaks and not be working if I had learned how to smoke. So I bought a pack of cigarettes, and I smoked like half of a. I took a smoke break and I smoked like half of it. And I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I just gave it to someone else, and I was like, it's not worth it. I'll just keep working.
Do you think you could pretend to smoke a cigarette and people would buy, like, just hold it up, it's not lit, and just pretend for like 5 minutes, be like, I gotta go on smoke break. And like, how long would it take before people noticed or called you on it? Assuming you're not smoking with other smokers, assuming you're like always like, it's my me time.
Yeah, you just have your fingers on your lips and nothing else. Just...
Well, you're holding the cigarette, but not actually, it's not
People
lit.
in chat are saying that 20 cigarettes come in a pack.
20?
Well, I know it's usually 20, but you can also get like smaller 10 packs. That I was wondering whether it was a smaller.
Hey, could you buy a single stick of butter?
Don't with that again.
Sorry.
Don't with that.
I've only smoked cigarettes like on camera for stuff, not like in real life.
We should do a thing where we all smoke a cigarette on the next podcast, and we get the audience to vote on who looks the most natural while they're doing it, while we're all just like choking on it.
I know it's not me.
No.
Anybody
all of
who
our fire alarms go off.
Yeah.
I had my fire alarm go off the other day. It was
a smoke detector.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one. It was like James Willem's birthday, and so we were like record him a little like happy birthday message, and I put had a cake, but I didn't have a cake, so it was a frozen shepherd's pie, and I put a sparkler in it and lit it on fire and sang happy birthday to him, and it was like a lot more smoke than I thought it was going to be. There's a lot of smoke.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
It was got smoke everywhere. My whole like it was a smoke up in my, and then like as soon as I cut the video, it like my alarm went off, and then I was like trying to. That's why I have it on it's off the wall because I took it off and like unplugged it, trying to get it to stop beeping.
You got to put it back up.
Well, it's in the room. It's not. It's just on the table. It's still working.
So it's still functional. Okay.
Yeah, it's still.
But
functioning.
it's supposed to be on the ceiling because that's where smoke goes.
Okay, I'll put it on the ceiling. It's only been off for a little bit. His birthday was like a week or two ago.
Well, you could have died every night since then.
Well, but I got other ones.
I had an issue at an apartment I lived in a couple years ago where it was a place that had really tall ceilings, and my smoke detector, the batteries, I guess, were low. And you guys know what happens when that happens is like it chirps every few seconds or like every minute or something like that.
Yeah.
The problem is I lived in this apartment. I didn't own a ladder or like anything to get up there. So there was no way that I could change the batteries on this thing because the ceilings were like a
chair.
No, but the ceilings were like fucking 10 or 12 feet up.
Oh. Yeah.
So like even if I stood on a chair, I'd still be like fucking 4 or 5 feet away from the ceiling. I mean, not that
what
much.
Did you do?
Not that much. I had to like call maintenance at one point because at first I was like, oh, like maybe it won't bother me that much. Like whatever. But I should probably have a functional smoke detector. So I should probably call maintenance. And so it was doing the beeps for like a week because I kept putting off calling maintenance.
That's
Chris,
awesome.
you should
Sleeping
put that up
like that.
tonight.
I could do it right now on the show.
You should do it now.
I have it on that wall back there.
You should do it
Put
right
it
this
on.
second.
All right.
Let's do the public service announcement, teaching everyone the safety of smoke detectors. Now we talk
Tristan's
shit about
gonna-
him since he can't hear us.
Injure himself during this, isn't he?
I like
What's
his
the
little
over-under?
neckerchief thing.
It's because he went to go walk his dog, and we had a Zoom call today, and Chris was on the call outside wearing that as a mask during our call.
Oh.
It looked like he was like someone who just stole Chris's phone and was on our Zoom call with us.
He's nailing it. Look. Oh, he's gone.
Where's he going? What's he doing now?
He's so quick. Oh, that's the dog. I thought it was something else.
The dog's just waiting for its chance to strike. Like it sees weakness in Chris right now. It's gonna take him down.
Are all your pets weirded out that you guys are home all day?
My dogs
much.
don't care.
I guess Esther's home most of the time, right?
Yeah. In fact, I don't even see them. I don't know where they are.
I've been enjoying spending time with my cats. There was one in here just a second ago.
Yeah, I saw
How
it
many do you have?
jumped.
3?
Yeah, that was Ziggy that was in here.
Do you have a favorite?
No, I like him. I like them all. Smee's a little prick, but I do like him a lot.
Did you do it, Chris?
Yep, it's back up.
Safety first.
Yeah, I also snuck in a bathroom break.
Oh, nice.
No one, I never get to go to the bathroom on the podcast because it's like I don't want to get up and like interrupt I was already up and it's right there.
That's why you want. That's why you agreed. That's why you suggested putting the smoke detector up. You knew you could do that.
I'm drinking 3 liquids, Gus. My
Next, you
meal's
should
away.
bring your webcam into the kitchen and start unclogging the sink.
Hey, Chris,
So I
you
gotta-
should
I gotta-
consolidate those down to one drink.
Yeah.
No.
Please don't. No, please don't. I got a
don't want-
text today. And I want to see if a certain number of you could guess why this was sent to me. So
Okay.
it's from Brandon Farmahini. Some of you know him better than others. He just texted me the word in all caps with about 8 exclamation points. He just texted me, Passover! Why
Passover?
Just in case you forgot.
He explained it later, but why do you guys think that Brandon texted me the word Passover in all caps?
Because you're Jewish.
Well, I
'Cause
am, but
he just realized it was Passover.
mm-mm.
Was he congratulating you? Is it something you congratulate people for?
So apparently there's a store that Brandon frequently uses called BH Photo, which I think is owned by Jewish owners.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's
And,
really hard to
uh,
buy stuff at the weekend.
Yeah,
on
so I
Saturday.
think he was trying to buy some sort of equipment, and he says that like they've been open this whole time during the COVID-19 stuff, and they've been still doing shipments, but Passover comes and they're closed.
Well, I mean, that's business as usual for them. They always close for that.
Dude,
So
I,
they're
I
just-
went
they're
to
just maintaining.
I went to CES one year, which is like over a weekend, and they just don't open their booth on Saturday. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They're paying
I
all
guess
that money
it's,
to be there. It's just
religious.
completely empty. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's just
I'm surprised they
very
don't just get like
surprising.
other people, like hire people to work that day for them. Although I guess that's like technically, some people are like very strict about the rules. Like if you hire someone to do a job for you on that day, like is that considered you doing the work? Like I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they're sticking to their principles.
Yeah.
It's important to them.
So was Brandon just needed a Jewish person to vent to? Is that what it was?
I guess so. I was like, do you think it's my fault? Like, I'm sorry.
Why didn't he text them? Passover.
I don't know.
I like B&H. I use their website all the time. It's good shit.
Yeah,
Good
they're
website.
apparently really good. But if
Love
you
a
ever
lot of
want
stuff
anything
from
on a Saturday or during Passover, you're shit out of luck, my friend. I'm sorry.
I feel like now might be a good time to thank all of our first members for supporting the stream. Normally, RTTV is behind the paywall. But of course, with everything going on, we have it opened up to everyone to watch. So thanks to everyone who is a first member who helps support all of our content and supports things like RTTV and enables us to make it open and share it with everyone. So thanks, first members. Y'all are pretty awesome. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. You're the best. Where'd Gavin go?
Where'd Gavin go?
He was
Yeah,
so
he's sneaking in
overcome
a
with
pee.
things.
It's not an ad read. It's just a few seconds.
He was just so thankful.
See, we all work from home for a couple of weeks and everything falls apart. People are getting up and going to the bathroom and getting drinks. It's not like this podcast is a surprise. It's been at this time for years. Like it's blocked off.
We have no one helping us. We have no one supplying our table with beer and like making sure that we're on time.
Threat. You're not as threatening over webcam.
Guys, all three of us, we could all leave the podcast right now and Gus will not be able to do anything about it.
He'll have to carry on his own.
He would.
You're gonna hear me just start talking about crazy conspiracy theories then. Chris, don't you leave. Chris, we have our own podcast we're doing.
No, please.
Oh, yeah.
No, please. Everyone come back, please.
I'm still here. I'm in my pajama pants.
So Black Box Down is coming out this Thursday, April 16th, finally. We've been working on that for a long time. And I'm excited that people are going to be able to finally get a chance to listen to it. In fact, people can already search for Black Box Down on whatever app they used to get podcasts and subscribe to it now, and they can get a trailer and get the first episode as soon as it's out this Thursday. And they can follow Black Box Down on Twitter, or Black Box Down Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And we'll be posting supplemental material on that social media, on the social media platforms for the episodes.
It's
we'll
really crazy.
have a link in the description.
I don't know. As someone who goes into every episode when we record it, not knowing what is going to happen, every time I just have genuine, what? Huh? What? And I looked right into the webcam for that because it felt more dramatic. But I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Is it just me, or is it the best time to be launching a new podcast is like right now? Although I guess people are commuting, so like that's usually when I would listen to podcasts.
That's the
overall podcast consumption is down.
Mm-hmm.
That's I guess it's because of the commute.
Yeah. Industry wide, podcast consumption is down. It's either the commute and maybe people listening at work as well.
What about YouTube videos or like our site?
I don't know. I think our site. No, I don't know. I don't want to say anything that's wrong. I have assumptions about it, but I don't know for certain.
I think a lot of it's up, especially obviously the live streams, just because like we've been doing live streams all day, every day for free there. So there's definitely more traffic there, which is really cool because then more people get to like learn about Rooster Teeth and learn about like the content we make because it's free for all. So I think it's pretty fun. Pretty neato burrito. It's a new saying.
It's not a new saying.
There's not a saying similar to that, right, with hot dogs or hamburgers.
Why would there be?
Like I don't know. It just seems like
you could say like, hey, that's cool burger.
Yeah, but like something like that. There's like hot dogs.
Well, that's like saying like, oh, if you say like, oh, you could kill two birds with one stone. Where like, why don't they make a saying like that, but with a different animal too?
Well, they could.
I could kill two pigs with one boulder.
Yeah, or it's like, man, like that's hellacious hot dog. That's not a good one. That's bad.
It's also like.
Oh, Chris, there's cool as a cucumber.
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
you just
why don't we make up our own saying?
Hot dog is a saying. You're killing me. Hot dog.
You know the classic saying, hamburger.
Well, yeah, he's right.
Hamburger.
Hamburger.
Hot dog is a saying.
I just opened the chat and Eric's been saying hot dog, ... exclamation point.
I thought he was just amazed that Chris said hot dog. I didn't realize that he meant hot dog as a saying.
I'm not sure. I don't feel like I say hot dog enough, like for
I don't think anybody says that anymore.
To express myself.
We should start talking like we're from like the 50s again. Like just start saying nifty and like hot dog.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts
But
to
not,
it.
but none of the racist stuff from the 50s.
Ideally
Ton of
not,
that, yeah.
no. I also want to mention I'm wearing a brand new shirt that's coming out, I believe, on Friday. There's like a bunch of new Ruby merch that's in like the style of popular anime. You guys could guess this one.
Is that Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball, hell yeah. I believe so. If I know my anime.
I do not. I'll take your word for
But
it.
that's just coming out Friday, so I'm super excited about it.
I feel like I missed out. Like I was born too early and I missed all the Dragon Ball Z stuff. I think like by the time that got popular, I was like in college or something. Like for some reason, I just missed it. And
I was
feel
on
like
the cusp.
this huge pop culture bit of knowledge that I've just like have no clue about.
Is it still good?
only-
Like if I were to watch it now, would it be good?
I've never seen it. I don't know.
It's
think
really
so.
kind of slow. It's a lot of kind of stalling, like a soap opera is, right? I only watched it because of my little brother. Because I think I started. It was whenever like over the summer where we just like have a lot of time playing video games, and we had only one TV that was like had cable, and so we would take turns doing it, and my brother would watch it, and I'd always like I thought it was dumb, and I'd go, "Oh, this show's so stupid." And then I'd be like, "Can we watch something else?" He'd be like, "No, no." And then I'd sit there and I'd wait for it, and I'd sit there and wait for the show to end. And eventually, it got to a point where I'd be like, "Oh, this show's so stupid. What's going on right now?" You know, like, and then I'd be like, oh, and then but I had to keep up the facade of being cool older brother. So I'd be like, "Oh, I hate this show," every like 10 minutes or something, just to like remind him that I hated it.
I think I did
Yeah.
that with Pokemon, where I was just like, "Oh, what is this dumb? Oh, who's that Pokemon? Oh yeah, nailed it."
I feel like a lot of people do that with shows like The Bachelor, where if like I mean a lot of women tend to watch that show versus men, but like if the girlfriend or whatever in the relationship is like watching it and the guy's like, "Ugh, that's stupid." Oh my god, what a bitch. Like what did she say about him?
That's probably on point.
Yeah. Like I've talked about it before on the podcast, especially when Jeff is on, the show called Love Island, which highly recommend. I think it's one of the greatest trashy reality shows ever. I'm watching season 4 of the UK version and it's awesome. But like me and Trevor are so invested in it. Like we know everyone's name, we know the whole story of like every person they've hit on and all this stuff. It's just so juicy. I also love imitating the British people on that show.
Well, you've
Reminds
had
me of
years
the
of
UK.
practice.
Years of practice. I also it's the first time I ever heard the word chuffed, and for some reason I thought chuffed would have meant like I'm angry or frustrated, but it means like super like happy about something, and it seems
Yeah.
to be the complete opposite
Oh.
of what it sounds like.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
like you're really happy with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that is
chuffed.
counterintuitive.
Yeah,
It-
Chuck
to
also
me,
like to
Chuck-
be annoyed.
I've
Yeah,
also heard
chuff-
chuff used as like an arse though. Like I'll ram this up your chuff.
what? That's like two. It's like
To
it's a
me,
complete
chuff
opposite.
should either be like you're annoyed or angry, or the what is it called where you like the fish parts that you dump to get sharks.
Chum.
Oh, chum
Chum?
That's what I'm thinking of.
bucket.
Chum is what? Okay,
What?
just don't know where chum came into it.
Well, in my head they sounded. I forgot the two that they would seem like the same word.
Chuff and chum.
Definitely.
But it was just like confusing watching the show because they'll have like their little interviews and the guys will be like, "Yeah, she asked me to be her boyfriend," and I'm like, "I'm right chuffed about it," you know. And I'm like, "Why are they angry?" I'm like, "Oh, they're happy."
I think the word with the most. I think I was talking about this on a recent off topic, but the word with the most variance in what it can mean is bollocks, because it can mean so many things depending on context.
Well, it doesn't it mean like, "Oh, that's a load of bollocks." So like, that's a load of shit.
Like utter bollocks is bullshit. Like the bollocks is really good. The dog's bollocks. You've also got like a bollocking if you're getting told off.
A ball
like if you get
licking.
No, bollock.
Bollocking. Ball licking.
So I was
Also
getting a
my-
ball licking the other day.
or it could mean like damn it, like oh bollocks.
And it also
Just
means like
applies
testicles,
in
right?
almost-
Like bollocks.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
your balls. Yeah, your ball sack.
My light panel, the battery just died. In case you're wondering why my lighting looks a little different. Chris, did you find the battery, by the way?
I was just about to bring that up. Chris can't find his charger for his battery.
It was not in the package.
Look, here it is, right here, Chris.
Let me see.
This is the one I got. You don't have.
Yeah, but
this.
you can't plug that. No, I have that.
That's
What I
the
don't have-
This is
charger.
a charger, Chris. We've been saying
No.
charger this whole time. What the fuck are you talking about?
I meant there's no like way to plug it directly into the wall. There's not like a
An
cable.
AC adapter?
Yeah, an AC adapter. I have a charger.
Oh my god.
That
It's an AC
charger-
adapter.
that-
That
But it had
That
prongs
goes
on
back
the
You
end
didn't
for
have
the
a
wall.
charger.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I phrased this all badly. There's not a way to plug the light in and just let it run without having to worry about the battery
That's
dying.
not something that's not what you said you were missing, Chris. You charge the battery and then you put the battery in the fucking light and then you charge it again when you need to.
You specifically
Yeah.
said you did not have a charger.
I meant AC adapter. That's what I meant, Gus.
That's a completely different word because we were talking about this fucking charger and how you have this and you're like, I didn't get a charger. It wasn't in my packaging. There was no charger.
Okay. I think we were both right, all right? You
Well-
were right technically, and I was right in my head.
You
Like,
know
what
how
I
I avoid
meant-
the problem? I charge
Barbara's
the battery
pissing.
in the outlet until right before we start, and then I
Yeah,
plug
but
it into the
I do
light
that
panel.
too, but then when we're like doing different things throughout the day, it's easy to like forget to like always take it on and off and on and off, and you forget, and then it didn't work. It happens.
It's okay, Chris. Listen, we're all going through tough times.
So
Yeah,
how are you
you
guys
are
feeling
correct, sir.
every
You're right.
morning now? Are you feeling like used to this situation? Feeling like it's
Mm.
normal?
I feel like I'm slowly getting more used, not like getting used to it in a way where like I'm happy about it, but just in like I understand what my day's gonna look like a little bit more now. But for like still, there's that brief moment right after I like open my eyes after waking up where I like don't remember the reality, and then like the second I pick up my phone, I'm like, oh right.
Yeah. Like it's not in. I feel like for me it's like not in my subconscious entirely yet, but it is immediately normal after I've come to terms with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So things have changed a little bit since we've been on the air here. I'm going to update. I'm going to break some news to you guys. In the city of Austin, the stay-at-home order has been extended until May 8th, and also now face coverings are mandated anytime that you go in public to do essential work or essential activities.
But what about
I
like
thought
walking
that
in a
was
park
already
or
the
something?
case.
I would assume that is also the case. I don't know. I'm just looking at the headline right here. I just loaded it.
That's good. I'm glad because I went to Walmart yesterday to get some groceries and food, and there were so many people, one, not wearing face masks, and two, also just like, I was like playing like a game of Tetris of like avoiding people, like, and then there were some people who just like, I was clearly trying to avoid people, and they'd be like walking right up next to me, and I'm like, and I've got my fucking face
Yeah.
mask up.
I feel like that's the thing. If I'm just going on a walk masked up and someone's coming at me, if there's nowhere to cross, you hope that the person will just sort of take a wide berth. But you don't
Yeah.
know until the last minute. So you're usually walking up, it's like there's no threat, and then the person just comes at you and you're like, what are you doing?
Yep.
So I'm going to read you the exact phrasing that it has here. Everyone over the age of 10 must wear a face covering over their nose and mouth when in a public building, using public transportation or ride shares, pumping gas, and while outside when 6 feet of physical distancing cannot be consistently maintained. Face covering is not required when eating, riding in a personal vehicle, alone in a separate single space, or in the presence of other members of your residence.
Wow.
Okay, so if you're outside where you could be far away, like walking a dog or something,
It
and
seems
there's
like you don't need it.
yeah,
Unless it's too crowded, unless you can't maintain space.
yeah. Well, that's
Man.
good. That's all good. I think that's great. I'm glad there's some sort of mandate. in general, I think Austin is the mayor's done a good job.
I read that in Laredo, which is a town down on the border, they were enforcing. They also had a mandatory face mask rule, and that if you were violating it, they'd fine you $1,000.
Holy shit.
I don't know
My
if they're
God.
still doing that, but yeah, they were really serious about it.
What have you guys, I know, Chris, you have the bandana, but what have you guys been using for face masks?
I've got Meg's masks.
Yeah, I got like one of those like do-it-yourself ones.
Gotcha.
I also, if I have this for like walking the dog and like maybe like I just been wearing it for quick stuff, but I also have some old I found some like masks, like paint masks from whenever I like painted in my like back cabinet. They're not like the medical grade kind, but they're just like paint masks or whatever. And so those are like my like I'm going shopping, going in deep, you know.
I mean, it's just so you don't spread it if you have it, right? They're not going to actually protect.
It's both. I think it's both.
No,
It's mostly
I think
for if you have it to not give it to other people. That's what it's mainly for, especially just because like it has to be a correct seal, a correct material, all this stuff if it's actually going to protect you from other people. And I know like a lot of people aren't necessarily careful like when taking it off, or if they're taking it off, putting it back on, like that completely defeats the purpose of not getting sick. And just some like other things. But yeah, it's mainly if you have or if you have it and no symptoms, that you're not getting other people sick without knowing it.
I do think though it probably still helps keep you from getting it because
I'm sure it's better than nothing. Perhaps, unless you're just like more careless. I think that was like an argument where at first they recommended people don't wear masks unless they were sick because you're not necessarily paying as much attention because you think you're protected and not being as careful about like not touching your face or touching things like that. So there's like an argument of saying like it's more harmful to wear them potentially because people don't properly use them and think that they're protected.
Well, I think it's also helpful from a psychological perspective because you have it there, so you're less inclined to touch that part of your face since it's covered up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it makes other people take it more seriously.
You think
just
so?
seeing a bunch of people on the street, or like a bunch of people are wearing masks, and then the people who aren't wearing masks are probably thinking, "Wait, why am I not wearing a mask?" You know, like, why am I the only one not wearing a mask?
I watched. I had already seen it, but I rewatched Contagion. I was like, oh, I saw that movie when it came out. I haven't seen it in however many years it's been since it came out. I was like, in light of everything that's going on in the world, I'm going to watch it and see what it's like. And at first, I started watching it, and it was like weird because I was like, oh, this is kind of comforting. It's similar to what we're going through. And then by the end of the movie, I was like, no, that was extremely depressing. Like, I'm sorry that I watched it. But it's weird because in the movie, like, there's a character who even mentions that people need to practice social distancing of 10 feet in order to minimize like the spread of the virus. And I was like, oh, like I don't remember that line at all. But now it totally stands out to me. And like they're talking about things. It's like, I see this on the news every day now. I think that's why it wore down. I was like, oh, this was like a weird escapism movie. Like I was like, oh, this can never happen. It's like, oh, now I'm trapped in my house.
Is this significant enough to be taught in schools, do you think, in the future?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Will it be like when you learn about a war, you'll learn about
this isn't that affected the entire world.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this. How much did any of you learn about the Spanish flu when you were in school?
Pretty much not at all.
Nothing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess maybe not.
Can I learned about the plague? Can I offer a counter to that?
Gus? Well, let me just finish real fast. I think it will be like a note people will remember and know of it, but in 100 years. But who knows how in depth it'll be remembered.
I mean, they know about the Great Depression.
True. But I'm just trying to compare another outbreak of like a pandemic.
To that, Gus, historically is the 1918 flu was the same time of like it coincided with the end of World War I, and because the entire world was at war, and that was so much of the national conversation, and that took up so much of our historical bandwidth for that year, and there were so many people dying anyway. I think it kind of got lost in that the magnitude of World War One.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah, like that's a fair counterpoint.
That does make sense, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I guess it's like maybe more selfish of us to say, but it's affected our lifetime and our generation and stuff like that like crazy. And I'm curious to see what the lasting effects will be after it. But
someone in chat actually raised an excellent counterpoint. Sombras said that the Spanish flu coverage was actually heavily censored at the time, which is right. I forgot about that. So that could be another reason why it wasn't as lasting in the public consciousness. So true. Good counterpoint. I'll concede that one.
Yeah. And that was because of the World War One, right? Because the governments were trying to hide the fact that their people were contaminated with it, so that the other side didn't know that everyone else was weak.
Right. That's why they called it the Spanish flu, because Spain was neutral in World War One, despite the fact that it didn't originate there.
And they were the only ones who would admit to having it.
Right.
It's always crazy to me that such large scale things can happen on the planet, and that countries will try and hide it. Like watching Chernobyl and how they were trying to just squash a giant nuclear meltdown. It's like every other country is picking up the particles in the global air. Like you can't hide it. It's crazy.
Yeah. That series was fucking amazing. If anybody watching this hasn't seen Chernobyl yet, was it Hulu or HBO?
HBO.
Yeah, like
what other good meltdowns have there been that they can make shows about?
3 Mile Island.
In Japan, there was
the Japanese one? Yeah.
The other day when I stepped in water with my sock, I had a pretty bad meltdown.
That was my first cosplay ever at RTX last year. I dressed up like the character from Chernobyl. No, the guy from Chernobyl.
Yeah,
I love that.
I remember that.
That was like, I think that was one of my favorite pieces of media from last year. Man.
Yeah, it's so stressful. There's one cliffhanger. I don't want to say it's like episode 3 or 4, where you're just like, holy fuck! It's when they're going into the building and it's like filled with water.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oof, man.
So speaking of HBO shows, I gotta say it again. Westworld season 3 is absolutely amazing. The episode, I don't think any of you are watching it. The episode that was on last night was.
Is it?
Oh,
good?
you are? Yeah. Last night's episode was absolutely incredible. I feel like 2 is.
Go on.
I was gonna say 2 I liked, but 3 I feel like they've done an excellent job building the world outside of the park, and that's what they're really exploring now, and motivations for why the world exists the way it does. And I think they've done an amazing job of world building, and last night's episode really is starting to pay that off.
Yeah, last night's episode was so intense. I've also really been liking it, but it's so funny how different season 3 is compared to season 1 in particular. Like they're just like night and day in terms of story and what it's all about. It's crazy.
I'm amazed that they didn't spend more time in the functional park. I thought we'd get at least a few seasons of everything sort of running fine, but it just kicks off season 1. Season 2, it's mental, and I'm excited to watch both of those seasons again before I watch series 3.
I already know that I'm going to have to watch.
Be 8 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because last night after the episode was done, they did the promo that was like only 3 episodes left.
That's true.
Is it just me? I started watching the show, and I watched the first season. I was like, okay, that was pretty good. And I started watching the second season, and then like 3 or 4 episodes in, I was like, this sucks. And then I just stopped.
I think
I didn't like season 2 as much as the other 2, as the season 1 or the current season, for what it's worth.
I think if you binge season 2, it's a lot better. I think it was hard to watch waiting week to week, but if you watch it like back to back and you are remembering and you can keep up with all the storylines that are going on, I think it's actually really good. But having to wait between weeks definitely hurts season 2.
I remember really liking the episode in series 2 that was around the Native American guy. I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm. This is a question that's somewhat related to one time we talked about that show, and whether or not if you had sex with a robot woman or man, if that counted as cheating. Does watching people have sex count as porn?
Like in person?
Yeah. Does that count? Is that porn?
I think it's
Well-
like a step up from porn.
No. But is it porn? Could you describe
Porn
that?
by
as-
definition, isn't that like a physical media? Like a magazine or
Nice.
video or something like that?
I feel like we're just
Looking it
back
up.
on dogging.
On what?
On dogging?
I would just type porn into the computer because I was like, I'm gonna look up the exact definition of porn. I just type in porn. Didn't give me the definition.
Porn,
definition is-
please.
Sexually explicit videos, photographs, writings, or the like, whose purpose is to elicit sexual arousal.
But
Or the like.
What about a live? What about live stream?
That's
Oh.
porn, right?
Because
What if? But then again, what if you're like looking? There's like a live show and you're just looking through a window. That's not much different than a screen.
That's just watching people have sex.
Yeah, no, but does that count as porn? If you go, like, because I think they have that in Amsterdam. Like,
I would call that voyeurism, if anything, maybe.
yeah, but they
I,
know
don't,
they
I,
know
don't, I
you're
wouldn't be
there.
like, I'm going to go to Amsterdam and walk down the street and look at some porn. Like, that's not
I
what
would
I
say
would call it.
I would say yes, because according to the definition, it's like it's in the or the like intended to elicit arousal. So yeah, if you're intending to elicit arousal, yes, it is.
have you done VR porn?
Like performed?
No, there was one time I was at Funhouse and we were playing with VR and streaming it, and then like Adam was going through different like games super fast, and we pulled up one that was like I looked down and it had a dick, and it was like an erect dick. Like I was like, oh man, that was like walking around the world, and then I looked down and it had this like raging boner sticking out, and we were like,
Well, what was in
"Ah!"
the game?
Oh, it was like a really dumb game because
You got me
because we
guessing.
cut the stream after that, and then I kept playing it, and then but
Well,
it was
that's
like
another
it was
question.
If I lived alone, I feel like all of my porn consumption would have to be in VR for maximum effect. But it is weird, I guess, if you are in some other man. Wait,
What?
Like you're fucking someone in VR porn, but you're in the body of another man. Like you look down and it's not your dick, kind of thing.
Gavin, you
Is that what
phrased
you mean,
that
or
so
you-
poorly.
the
or are you
phrasing
pegging?
was awful.
Yeah.
I think what he means is like it's not your body and it's not your dick. I think that's what
Well,
he's getting.
Yeah, like that's
But
not
you're not
something I've
in a man.
experienced. No.
Well, but there's also porn that's like from the like POV porn that's like the cameraman is like
Yeah, but I wouldn't watch that and think that's me. Yeah, as I'm watching on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a tiny screen.
yeah.
How does it work if you're a girl playing VR porn and you want to like get railed? How does that work?
I
Well,
bet
you
they
could-
have some girl VR porn. I'll look it
'Cause,
up.
like-
now.
Depends who they put the camera on, right?
I guess you have it. It
Yeah.
can't be anything but like a missionary or them in front of you, because like if it's doggy style, you can't be like looking back. The whole time.
Why
there?
not?
You could look behind. If it was 360, you could
I
absolutely
guess
do that.
that's true.
Yeah, but in reality, your neck doesn't spin that way.
Here,
Yeah, I
Barb,
can't really.
Barb, I'm gonna slack you some stuff.
Oh,
I found.
you sure about that?
Why are you slacking it?
I mean, I
What?
found
Yeah, why
a
would you
lot.
slack that?
Please send it through our work messaging system. I can't wait.
Like, what does the word porn mean? Like, comes from
Pornography.
Pornography.
Well, yeah, but what is that?
God, I gotta look it up again.
Why is it
Pornography,
called
hardcore porn.
pornography?
So
I bet those porn websites are just at capacity at all times right
Doing
now.
so
People
well.
people must be just like sad and wanking every day.
swanky. So
have you guys done a
the
sad
word-
wink?
No.
Barb, all my wanks are sad.
The origin. I found the origin of the word pornography. It comes
Oh,
from
thank God.
two Greek words, porne, which means harlot, and graphos, which means graph. So it's a harlot graph.
Interesting.
On
So
the
writing
y-axis
about
here, we
harlots.
have dick size. On the x-axis here, we have
These nuts.
these nuts. Do you guys like
I wa-
watching porn with guys with big dicks or small dicks? Or does it not matter?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's just like luck of the draw, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean,
I
like,
not
answered the
ever a
question,
part-
Eric.
It's
Like-
not a part
like
of the
you-
search.
you wouldn't, like, turn off
Right,
porn if
it's
the
not
guy
part
had a
of the-
really small dick.
No.
I want it to be realistic, don't I?
I mean, I feel like that's personally that's more like the criteria in which I'm looking for porn. That's not as big. That's like, no pun intended, a big factor.
Mm-hmm. But
Is
it's
it-
more about what the lady looks like, or ladies. If you're
Yeah,
watching.
or maybe what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I usually care more about what the woman looks like in porn versus the guy. Does that make me a little gay? Probably.
Like what are some of your modifiers?
I don't know.
What are
Like
some
I
of
like
your
the
keywords?
I like the girls to have like a nice butt and nice tits. You know,
Yeah.
standard.
Fair play.
Yeah.
If she's got weird nipples or like no ass, I'm like, I'm not into it.
What defines weird nipples?
Like really long, like where you could
Like
flick
over
them
an
and you think
inch.
that there'd be like a sound if you flicked them, like a reverberation.
Boing.
I've seen those before in porn, and it's just like I can't. It's not my taste.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you for making
So,
it
like,
more
like-
awkward.
You're the one who brought it up.
No,
I don't
no,
know how
no.
to segue off of that.
It. Cool. Hot dog.
Hot dog. I watched a movie the other day. I watched a movie the other day that I'd forgotten had come out. I totally maybe missed it. It was a movie that came out last year called Good Boys. Do any of you remember that, or did any of you see it?
No.
It's like about 3 6th grade boys who it's kind of like Superbad but younger. It's like three sixth grade boys who are going to
I
go to
remember
like
the
a trailer
trailer.
party.
Yeah.
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 Like it was. I saw it was on HBO, so I watched it, and it's fine. It's funny. I actually laughed a few times during the movie. It's like, oh, I went in with no expectations, and then watched it. And I was like, oh, like I didn't hate it. It was entertaining. It was a good hour and a half time killer.
Good. We
So
need
if
more
you're
of those.
if you're looking for something to kill some time with, check it out. It's fun.
You know what I watched? You mentioned was it the virus movie? What was it?
Contagion.
Contagion. I watched that, but I also watched Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman from like 1995. That one didn't hold up as well. It
No?
like
What's wrong
it's
with
it's a lot cheesier, but it like the first half is like kind of like, oh, your typical like virus kind of movie, Outbreak, and then at some point it's like, wow, we need like a helicopter chase.
Oh, really?
And then it becomes like an action movie, like a typical 90s action movie where the virus doesn't even seem like it's important anymore. It's like the background bad guy. It's not the bad guy.
It's all about the
'Cause
love now.
Boring.
Yeah. Yeah. It got boring in the second half where I'm like, man, where's the like it had a good premise. And then it like became like, well, we're going to like make the bad guy military guy try and like be the bad guy.
Do you think they'll make a movie about COVID-19?
Oh yeah,
Probably eventually,
yeah.
but
I
I'm
mean,
sure
look
there's
how
going to be a ton of documentaries about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Look
I
how
can't even imagine.
Look how many movies there were about like September 11th. You know,
That's
I mean, you
exactly
could
what I was
Yeah.
release a lot
thinking.
of documentaries based on all the conspiracies surrounding COVID, like the 5G.
Yeah, isn't there like a big conspiracy that it was made in a lab?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I mean, surely if it was
5G
man-made,
one's
you would want like a higher fatality rate or mortality rate, right? Why would someone make this strain of virus?
Well, I
Maybe
mean, look at
for-
the economic impact it's had worldwide.
I think
Yeah, but you would just be doing it to yourself. Like, there are no countries immune from it.
Do you think it was
It's
someone
weird.
who was very passionate about climate change, and so this way everyone is at home, not driving their cars everywhere, and like a bunch of smog has cleared from different places like that?
Yeah, but there's still factories on powering
Done.
all the homes
Done.
that people are now
No, I
permanently
know.
living in.
I'm making a joke. I'm not actually serious. I hope
Oh.
nobody take me serious, please. I just think like if you're gonna find silver lining in anything that's going on, because of course it's terrible and it's shitty and nobody wants this to be the way it is. But they posted a photo of Los Angeles the other day and how you could actually see the entire city, and like a bunch of pollution cleared up over China over a couple days, right? I mean, it's probably gonna come back, but it's like a weird silver lining to have a brief moment to breathe in that sense.
I
Yeah, I
saw-
just think in the
I saw
grand scheme,
also-
it's meaningless.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but maybe it'll show people what's possible with just cutting back some. I saw
maybe.
a graph of the air quality in Los Angeles that was charted, I think, between 1995 and current day, like month by month, showing like how many, I don't know, like days and weeks had bad air quality, how many days and weeks had good air quality. And I didn't realize how much worse the air quality was in 1995 compared to now. It was
really?
weird to see, that it was worse then. It got better, I guess, like as factories left the area and as cars became more fuel efficient, that the air actually, it was still bad, but it did get better than how it was.
So what's changed? Is it like the stuff that they put on cars to reduce carbon and stuff? Is that a factor?
Right, more fuel efficient vehicles, better technology,
more regulation on how much cars can pollute.
Mm-hmm.
When you're saying like it will, a lot of stuff will go back to normal as far as like people polluting, but also I think it is one byproduct of everything is it's showing improving virtual workstations and working from home, and just the system and the network, and showing what people can do from home. So that might down the line lead to less people commuting and more people working from home.
And less office space needed as well.
Yeah.
I would love to crack down on redundancy in the house. Like, if you have 2 different rooms where you watch stuff, but you need to then fill out both of those areas with stuff. I guess with smart TVs, it's not as bad. But like in my office, I've got a TV, and in my living room, I've got a TV. But wouldn't it be cool if there was just like one central location for my Xbox, and it could just go to whichever TV that I wanted to? I feel like there's nothing in place for like
like you could do like a routing system.
Yeah, like if I had a closet where all of my stuff went, and then it was very easy. I know there are ways to do that, but if it was very easily accessible throughout wherever you were in the house, I think
I'm sure that'll exist in the future. I feel like that's something that's like sooner rather than later in terms of technology advancing. Gavin, also, I totally thought you were going to say, like, I got one TV in my office, one TV in, like, my living room. I'm like, wouldn't it be great if I just had, like, one central place I could watch TV?
I mean, like, I've got, screen, like, this is a screen. There's one in my living room. You know what I mean?
I know you mean, yeah. I was just going to laugh because for some reason I thought you were going to say that, and I'm like, yeah, most people
I mean, that's
one living.
That is the nice thing about like a Switch, where you can pick it up and move it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a portable, like a portable game system. Yeah. I'm gonna step back just a second to an earlier conversation we were having. Do you all know I had to look it up. I couldn't remember it, but the full name of the city of Los Angeles, like what it was actually named.
I know that LA is like 3% of the full name if you abbreviate it to that.
It's a really long name.
I don't know if I realized that it had like a full.
It's a Spanish name. It's El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de los Ángeles, which is the town of Our Lady, the Queen of Angels.
I totally knew that.
So your bit of trivia for the day: the actual name of Los Angeles.
That seems like a lot of work to write that down.
Man,
I see why they abbreviated it.
Can you imagine writing it down on an envelope when you're sending something in the mail?
It
I
would
need bigger envelopes.
it would go down to EPNSRLA. Nope.
I mean,
Doesn't work.
technically, the UK is a heavy abbreviation because it's
Is
the
it?
United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's like what is included within the United Kingdom.
I didn't know that was the full name.
I just call it the UCK.
Uck. I mean, that's what it says on my
right,
passport.
shop.
It also used to say European Union on my passport.
Oh, that's sad.
Used to.
I mean, it still does. It's still on there.
Your boy Boris Johnson recovered out of the hospital.
He got out. I was worried
Yeah.
about him. I'll be honest. Intensive care. Jesus. He was in there for a few days.
Yeah, that was intense. That was wild that he was in there like that. But thankfully, I guess he got out of there.
That's crazy. I've heard a lot of stories of people who had to be admitted to, like a good portion of people who are admitted to intensive care don't make it out of there just from the nature of the virus and stuff like that. And if you have to be admitted, you're probably doing really badly. So that's good to hear that he's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe he'll take some shit more seriously.
One could hope.
There were so many people just perfectly happy with him dying. I couldn't believe it. There's like a whole region of Twitter where there's just absolutely no empathy whatsoever. It's crazy. I can't believe.
Yeah, it's like it's still a human.
Twitter's an ugly place right now.
I think people are getting a little stir crazy, and like the current situation starting to get to everyone.
Yeah.
So we have until May 8th now, you said, right? That's
Yeah,
like
May
the
8th
new-
is the new date, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see an extension on that, honestly.
I was gonna say, I think this, if I had to predict, might go like into the start of the summer. But I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, the year's a wash, right? We could just pretend that. I mean, if we get it in our minds that nothing will happen this year, we won't be caught off guard.
You had a great tweet about that the other day, Gavin, where you said, let's redo this year and call it 2022.
Yeah, I said at the end of this
TOO.
year we should just start again with January 2020, and for short we'll call it 2022. And I don't think that'll be confusing.
I like that idea because then everyone could also not age. Like if we just have our birthdays, like
We'll all just give ourselves the year again. We'll just take the same age again, and we'll all just give a little. We'll all know secretly, but we'll just be calling ourselves a year younger.
I'm sure there's someone watching right now who's turning 21 this year, and they're like, "You better fucking not do that."
Maybe you have the option. You can choose whether you take.
One time you get to choose whether you're going to go up or you're going to stay, and that's it.
But you have to do it legally. You have to do
Right.
it legally next year. You have to make the decision. You can't be making the decision later.
It sounds like in the Avengers, you know how there was the blip or whatever they called it after the fact where half the population. It sounds like we're talking about that or something where it's like, yeah,
the
there's
snap.
Yeah, the snap. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where it's like, oh yeah, there was that one time period where like, you know, everyone was stuck in their houses and no one aged, right?
Crazy. Someone stop time, right?
Oh,
Speaking of stopping time, it's about time to stop.
Good one, Gus. Haha,
Yeah.
haha.
All right. Well, I just want to remind everyone that we're live every day. You can check out the schedule to see what's next. You know that because you're here. But once again, thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to First Members for supporting us. And yeah, make sure you check out the schedule and see what other live programming we have coming up. But we will definitely be back on the podcast again next Monday at 5 o'clock, like always. And until then, we'll see you guys on our next stream.
Boy.
Bye.